The signs of autism in young children that every parent should know. Autism spectrum disorder is a developmental disorder that becomes evident from a very young age. Its primary manifestations occur in the areas of communication, language, the ability to relate to others, and the variety of interests or play. It manifests in various ways, from very mild cases to more severe ones, making it a broad spectrum. Autism is acquired from birth and typically manifests between 18 months and 3 years of age, while some children may exhibit symptoms as early as 6 months of age. Diagnosis, on the other hand, tends to occur much later in a child's life, during the stage when they should start demonstrating communicative signals. Interesting facts. According to updated data from the World Health Organization, approximately 1 out of every 100 children in the world is autistic. The country with the highest number of autistic children is Afghanistan, with a rate of 91.2 per 10,000. If you're enjoying this video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Your support enables us to continue creating quality content especially for you. In the material we are presenting, we will reference the most significant signs of autism spectrum disorder in young children. For better understanding, it is considered necessary to provide a brief characterization under patterns of regularity in young children, related to the development of language and sociability, taking into account that these two aspects are the most affected in the development of autistic children. Social and language development in young children. Every child is different, although there should not be patterns of behavior that can evaluate normal development in them. We can consider evaluative scales to determine the most common behaviors in a child's overall development. At 9 months, they engage in games with adults related to facilitating and taking objects. They show objects to adults. They wave goodbye. At 10 months, they point with their finger to request what they desire. At 12 months, they start pronouncing their first meaningful words, dad, mom, and water. They initiate games with increasing frequency. They switch roles in turn-taking games. At 18 months, they begin playing with other children. Although they still mostly play alone, they show objects, offer them, and take them. By this stage, they have enriched their vocabulary with around 20 words. At 24 months, they have brief episodes of playing with other children. They initiate games related to motor activities. They combine two words and understand when they are asked for common objects. What are the warning signs indicating a possible autism spectrum disorder in young children? Delay in motor development. There may be a delay in the development of motor skills, such as crawling, walking, or manipulating objects. Motor coordination difficulties. Children with autism may have difficulties coordinating fine and gross motor movements. Delay or lack of joint attention. What is joint attention? Joint attention involves shifting attention between an object or event and another person and connecting with that person. It is one of the foundations for later social and communication skills. In the case of autistic children, this skill does not develop properly. Lack of response to sounds. The child shows no interest or reaction to sounds, and parents may consider the possibility of hearing impairment. Poor communication development. One of the most common signs of autism is a delay in language acquisition. Autistic children may start speaking later than their peers. In the case of a baby, they do not make any sounds. They remain silent and do not interact with those around them. They do not make common gestures for children their age, such as waving goodbye or pointing to show something of interest. They use no more than 2 words to communicate. The use of labels. They may have words they use to label things but not to request them. They may use words for objects before using words for people or family members. echolalia, and repetition. Most young children go through a phase where they repeat what they hear. Children with autism spectrum disorder may repeat what they hear for a longer period of time. They may also repeat lines from movies or conversations with the same tone of voice they heard. Lack of facial expressions. Sometimes, the autistic baby does not show a smile and always appears to have the same facial expression. Difficulty in establishing social and emotional relationships. They reject displays of affection. They are unable to understand the feelings of others or how their actions can affect these people. They avoid all kinds of closeness and show it by fleeing from the situation. They do not like staying in the arms that offer them comfort, nor do they make eye contact. They show no interest in people, not even in family members or caregivers. They reject playing with other children and avoid cuddling or hugging. No response to calls. The child does not respond, make a sound, or turn their gaze when called. They act as if they did not hear. Presence of repetitive movements. Children with autism tend to exhibit repetitive or stereotyped movements, hand flapping, lining up objects, and rocking back and forth. These movements can begin to be noticed after 1 year of age and can intensify if treatment is not initiated. Noticeable behaviors. Obsessive interest in objects or elements in the environment. Strong reactions to sensations like sounds, smells, tastes, or textures. While others are less sensitive and may seek intense sensations, the need for routine is common in autism. Unexpected changes can be difficult to handle and cause anxiety. They may also harm themselves. They bite or hit their head and always play in the same way. Something you should know. Many children with autism spectrum disorder show differences in development when they are younger, especially related to their social and language skills. There may be some delays in spoken language or differences in how they interact with their peers. However, children on the autism spectrum generally sit, crawl, and walk on time. Therefore, subtler differences in the development of gestures, pretend play, and social language often go unnoticed by families and specialists. What could be the risk factors for autism diagnosis? There is no single cause for the diagnosis of autism, just as there is no single type of autism. The most important risk factor for autism spectrum disorder diagnosis is having one or more family members with autism. Thus, the risk of having another child with the same condition is around 20%, which is 10 to 20 times higher than in the general population. Environmental factors can come into play before and during childbirth. Those with the most evidence of increasing the risk of autism are advanced parental age at the time of conception, both mother and father. Maternal diseases during pregnancy that trigger significant immune reactions. Extreme prematurity with very low birth weight. Difficulties during childbirth, especially those involving oxygen deprivation to the baby's brain. Epilepsy treatment. Treatment with valproic acid during pregnancy. Exposure to high levels of pesticides and air pollution in pregnant mothers. It is important to note that these factors, on their own, do not cause autism. It is the combination with genetic risk factors that can modestly increase the risk. The causes of autism are complex and not fully understood, but it is known for sure that, according to the medical community, it is a disorder in which biological factors play a stronger role. Are there physical traits associated with autism in children? There is no physical trait or characteristic that defines children with autism. They are physically the same as other children. What to do when there are signs indicating the presence of autism in children? Consult a pediatric specialist to assess the issue and identify the causes of the manifestations. When the pediatrician suspects that the child has some form of risk, they refer them to early stimulation consultation. Attend therapy sessions, occupational and physical therapy, to address motor and sensory difficulties, behavioral therapy, to teach social skills and reduce problematic behaviors. Guidance for families. Receiving a diagnosis of autism can be overwhelming for parents. It is important to seek emotional and educational support. Below, we provide some examples. Emotional and psychological support. The guidance of a professional can help parents manage stress and emotions related to the diagnosis. Parent support groups. Joining support groups can provide a network of support and the opportunity to share experiences with other parents facing similar challenges. Detecting early signs of autism is essential for families to seek appropriate support and services for their children. By being attentive to the signals mentioned in this video and seeking necessary help, they can improve the quality of life for their children and provide them with a future full of possibilities. Understanding and love are fundamental to support children with autism on their journey to growth and development. Autism does not define a child. It is only a part of who they are. They too can reach their full potential and lead happy and fulfilling lives. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Your support allows us to continue creating quality content especially for you.